Okay, students, good evening, everyone. In the last lecture, we learned about acceleration due to gravity. We first started by saying that the value of acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meter per second square. But then this constant everywhere, it changes from place to place. And we spoke about three important reasons. Why does the value of G keep changing? The first reason was due to the shape of the earth. If you all can recollect, flat at the poles, bulging at the equator. So the value of G is more at the poles, but it is less at the equator. Then we spoke about the second factor, height. As you go above the surface of the earth, the value of G goes on decreasing. And thirdly, we spoke about depth. As you go inside the surface of the earth, again, the value of G decreases. And then we spoke about one very important distinguish between of mass and weight. And I had told you all to learn this answer because I'm going to ask tonight and I will stick to my words. So I am giving you a couple of minutes to revise this answer and then I will stop my screen sharing. I'll come back to the Zoom app. I'll start unmuting people and there are 5 people who will be answering. And then we will start with the today's lecture. So you have 2 minutes for revision. So quickly revise. Okay. So I hope people have finished the revision. Then I'll stop my screen sharing. I'll come back to the Zoom app and I want people to raise your hands if you want to answer. So I'll start unmuting you. Come on, come on, come on. Raise your hands, raise your hands. Yes, people have raised hands. Many people, in fact. Good. So let me go with Vikroli, Mr. Om Masurkar. Om, I am unmuting you and you have to tell me any one point of difference between mass and weight. Come on, go ahead. Om, are you there?
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Om.
Yes, the first point, mass is a mass.
Om, can you be a little louder?
Hello, sir. Now am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes. You are audible. Tell me any one point.
Mass is the amount of matter present in an object, and weight is the force with which the earth attracts an object.
Superb, Om. Very good. So he has told me the first point of difference. Now I want another person. Let me go with Saidam Krishika Jaiswar. Saidam Krishika Jaiswar, I'm unmuting you. You have to tell me any other point of difference.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Krishika,
Hello.
I can hear you. Tell me any other point.
SI unit of mass is kilogram, kg.
Hmm.
CGS unit is gram. SI
Hmm.
unit of weight is Newton. And CGS unit of weight
Hmm.
is dyne.
Very good. So she has told me about the unit. So first point definition done and units done. Now going to the third point. Now for the third point, let me select Ghatkopar Grishma Pujari. Grishma, I'm
Hello,
unmuting
sir.
you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Grishma, go on. Any other point?
Its value is the mass value is same everywhere, and the weight is changing from place to place.
Superb. So mass remains constant everywhere, and weight does not remain constant. It keeps on changing because of the formula. And the formula, if you all can recall, is equal to mg. And the last point. And for this last point, I'm selecting someone from DN Nagar. DN Nagar Vedant. DN Nagar Vedant, I'm unmuting you. Can you hear me?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Vedant, tell me the last. What is left?
Mass is a scalar quantity and weight is a vector quantity.
Superb. Please mute yourself, Vedant. All right. So now that all the points are done individually, I want somebody to answer me the entire thing, and I can see so many raised hands. Superb. So I want someone to answer me the entire thing. Who can do it? All right, all right. There are so many people who are raising the hands. Fine. Let me select someone from. Yes, Devi Dayal, Leher Tolani. Leher, I am unmuting you. You have to tell me the
Hello,
entire
sir.
answer. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Leher, go on.
Mass is the amount of matter present in the object. Weight is the force with which the earth attracts the object. Mass is a scalar quantity. Weight is a vector quantity. SI unit of mass is kilogram.
Good.
CGS unit is gram. SI unit of weight is Newton. CGS unit is dyne. Mass of an object remains same everywhere. Weight of an object changes from place to place.
Superb. Awesome. Very well answered. Awesome. So I think people have revised, and I think this topic of mass and weight, this answer particularly of mass and weight, is clear with you all. Now, again, I'm going back to the screen sharing, and then we will start with today's lecture. Now, today's lecture is full of mathematics because today we need to solve some sums, and today we need to study some proofs depending upon how much time we have. So let's first start with the formulas. Now, earlier we had learned 5 formulas, and in the last lecture we learned the formula for weight. W is equal to mg. So now this is the list of formulae for us. F is equal to g m1 m2 upon d square. Second formula is of acceleration due to gravity. G is equal to gm upon r square. The third formula is the first kinematical equation. V is equal to u plus gt. Then the second kinematical equation, S is equal to ut plus half gt square. Third kinematical equation, V square is equal to u square plus 2gs. And the formula that we learned last time, W is equal to mg. Now today, the sums that we are solving are majorly based on formula number 2 and the last formula. So that means we are solving sums based on G is equal to gm upon r square and W is equal to mg. So let me first start with sum number B of your textbook exercise. And the question, as it is in front of you, I will read it. The radius of planet A is half the radius of planet B. If the mass of A is ma, what must be the mass of B so that the value of G on B is half that of its value on A? So students, if you see the question properly, here they are talking about 2 planets. One is planet A, another is planet B. And in the first line, they have compared the radii of both the planets. Look at the statement. The radius of planet A is half the radius of planet B. So let me write this in given. They are saying radius of planet A. I write it like this. RA is, matlab is equal to. They are saying half. So I will write half of radius of planet B. That means I'll write RB. So radius of planet A is half the radius of planet B. That means RA is half of RB. So RA is equal to half into RB. Now children, remember this thing always. Whenever they give us some comparison, see, yahan pe they've given us the comparison of the radii of both the planets. So whenever they give us any comparison between two things, we will write that comparison in the form of ratio. I repeat what I said. I told you that whenever they give us any comparison between two objects, we write that comparison in the form of ratio. Now, what do you mean by writing this in the form of ratio? So I want you all to look at this RB. If I shift this RB on the left hand side, obviously this multiplication will get converted to division. So I get something like this. RA upon RB is equal to half. So this way I write the radii in the form of ratio. So वही मैंने बोला, whenever they compare two things, we write that comparison in the form of such a ratio. Children, they have compared one more thing. Look at the last line. So that the value of G on B is half that of its value on A. तो उन्होंने G का भी वैल्यू कंपेयर किया है planet A और planet B का. According to the question, the value of G on B, that means GB, is half of its value on A. That means GB is half of GA. So I write mathematically GB is equal to half into GA. Again, I write this in the form of ratio. So ratio form में लिखने के लिए I will shift this GA down here. तो मुझे मिलेगा GB upon GA is equal to half. So that means they've given us two ratios. The first ratio given is RA upon RB. उसका value दिया है 1/2. The second ratio given is GB upon GA. उसका भी value दिया है 1/2. Now what they are asking us to find? They are saying what must be the mass of B. So I am supposed to find, children, the mass of B. That means MB. Obviously, as you can see in the given, the sum is based on acceleration due to gravity. So I will use the formula for it. Acceleration due to gravity का formula बच्चों है G is equal to Gm upon R square. Correct? Now what I do is I write the same formula first for planet A and then for planet B. Trust me, children, it is very easy. Just pay attention. What I do is for planet A, I write the same formula in this way. देखो formula के left hand side पे है G. तो planet A के लिए G will become GA is equal to right side पे ऊपर है GM. तो planet A के लिए G will remain G, but M will become MA. Now, if you're wondering why does not G become GA, it is because अगर तुम लोग को याद है तो capital G is the universal gravitational constant. Universal मतलब कोई भी planet होने दो, planet A होने दो या B होने दो या C होने दो या D होने दो, the value of G will remain constant. So G will remain G, but M becomes MA upon R square. For planet A, R is nothing but RA. So R square becomes RA square. तो यही फॉर्मूला मैंने planet A के लिए देखो किस तरह से लिखा है. GA is equal to capital G MA upon RA square. Let me call this equation as equation number 1. Now similarly, I will write the formula for planet B. So I'll write for planet B. Again, children, look at this formula. G will now become GB is equal to capital G will remain capital G, but M will become MB upon R square will become RB square. I call this equation as equation number 2. I hope तुम लोग को समझा मैंने क्या किया. I first wrote the formula G is equal to GM upon R square. Then I wrote the formula first for planet A. I got equation number 1. Then I wrote the same formula for planet B. I got equation number 2. And now what I do is I divide 1 and 2. Children, why divide? Because division से ना जो भी common terms होंगे वो cancel हो जाएंगे. तो अपने को जितना terms कम होगा उतना अपनी calculation के लिए अच्छा हो जाएगा, and that's why I am dividing. Dividing equation 1 and equation 2 we get. Now children, pay attention. When I divide, so left hand side will get divided by left hand side and RHS will get divided by RHS. तो पहले हम लोग LHS को divide करते हैं. Equation 1 का LHS है GA और equation 2 का LHS है GB. तो divide करने पे अपने को मिलेगा GA divided by GB, मतलब GA upon GB is equal to, अभी right side will get divided by right hand side. Equation 1 का right hand side is this, divided by equation 2 का right side is. So 2, I get something like this. GA upon GB is equal to GMA upon RA square divided by GMB upon RB square. Now children, I want to look at this division. Obviously, my next step would be to convert division into multiplication. So now when I convert this division into multiplication, उसके बाद का जो fraction है, it becomes reciprocal. सब हमने maths first standard पढ़ा है. So when division becomes multiplication, the entire thing will become ulta. So RB square will go up and capital G and MB will come down. Now children, can you see something can get cancelled? Yes, correct. Capital G will get cut. So what I get is GA upon GB is equal to, अभी check करो numerator में क्या क्या है. In the numerator, I have MA and I have RB square. In the denominator, I have RA square and I have MB. तो हम लोग एक काम करते हैं. We arrange the terms in such a way that M और M साथ में लिखते हैं और ये RB square और RA square साथ में लिखते हैं. तो ऊपर हमारे पास है MA और नीचे हमारे पास है MB. So I write it like this. ऊपर MA नीचे MB. Into ऊपर देखो RA square है कि RB square है? करेक्ट, RB square और नीचे है RA square. तो ऊपर RB square नीचे RA square. अब इसको हम लोग और सिंप्लीफाई करेंगे. I will get GA upon GB is equal to MA upon MB into RB square upon RA square के लिए I write RB upon RA the whole square. Children, now we can put the values. Look at this. GB upon GA का वैल्यू कितना है? 1/2. बट हमको है ना GB upon GA नहीं मिला है. Look at the left hand side of the last equation. हमारे पास है GA upon GB. Now I want you all to think common sense. अगर GB upon GA is 1/2 तो GA upon GB कितना होगा? Correct, 2/1. 2/1 is nothing but 2 is equal to MA upon MB into. Again children, look at the given. They have given us RA upon RB as 1/2. But हमको किसका वैल्यू चाहिए? Look at that bracket in the last equation. RB upon RA. So RA upon RB is 1/2. So definitely RB upon RA will be 2. But again, उसका square. So ultimately what I get is 2 is equal to MA upon MB into 2 square becomes 4. So now if I want the value of B, तो definitely मुझे 4 को यहाँ पे shift करना पड़ेगा. तो मुझे मिलेगा 2/4 is equal to MA upon MB, which means 1/2 is equal to MA upon MB. Now because I want the value of MB, I cross multiply. तो मुझे मिलेगा 1 into MB is MB and 2 into MA is 2MA and that's your answer. So MB का value हमको मिला 2MA. Now in the question they are saying what must be the mass of B. So I'll write the final answer. The mass of planet B is 2MA. See, it was a very easy sum. सिर्फ याद क्या रखना है? Whenever they give us the comparison of two things, you write that in the form of ratio. फिर मैंने क्या किया? फॉर्मूला लिया. वो फॉर्मूला को first I wrote it for planet A. I got equation number 1. Then I wrote it for planet B. I got equation number 2 and then I divided. तो divide करने से अपने आप हमको आंसर मिल जाता है. Now children, I do not right now want you all to waste time copying this. So do one thing, take a screenshot and then I will tell you what to do. So quickly, I'm giving you a couple of seconds to take the screenshot. Okay. Now children, if you all have understood this sum, believe me, you will find the next sum very, very easy. Again, it is an exercise sum, but it is sum number C, the third sum of your textbook exercise. The mass and weight of an object on Earth are 5 kg and 49 Newton respectively. What will be their values on Moon? Assume that the acceleration due to gravity on Moon is 1/6 of that of Earth. अभी बच्चों, look at the first line. They are talking about an object. Earth पे वो object का mass है 5 kg और Earth पे वो object का weight दिया है 9.8 न्यूटन. हमको ढूंढना है कि मून पे उसका मास और उसका वेट कितना होगा. So let me first write the given values. The mass of the object on Earth. So I write it like this, ME, mass on Earth, kg. The weight of the object on Earth is 49 Newton. And look at the last line, children. Something very important is given. Assume that the acceleration due to gravity on Moon is 1/6 of that of Earth. So acceleration due to gravity on Moon, that means G on Moon, means equal to 1/6, matlab 1/6 of that of Earth. So G on Moon is 1/6 of G on Earth. मतलब GM is equal to 1/6 into GE. अभी मैंने last sum में तुम लोग को बताया. Whenever they give us two comparisons, we write that in the form of ratio. So here again, to write this in the form of ratio, I shift GE here. So I will get GM upon GE is equal to 1/6. हमको ढूंढना क्या है? I first need to find the value of mass on Moon, and then I need to find the value of weight on Moon. तो अर्थ पे मास और वेट दिया है, मून पे मास और वेट हमको ढूंढना है. So let's see how do we solve this sum. Trust me students, very easy. Let us first talk about mass. अभी वो डिस्टिंग्विश बिटवीन में मास का जो लास्ट पॉइंट था वो क्या था बच्चों, रिकलेक्ट करो. मास ऑफ एन ऑब्जेक्ट ऑलवेज रिमेन्स कांस्टेंट. दैट मींस अर्थ होने दो या मून होने दो, द मास ऑफ एन ऑब्जेक्ट विल ऑलवेज रिमेन सेम एवरीवेयर. तो मैं ऐसे लिखूंगा, सिंस मास ऑफ एन ऑब्जेक्ट रिमेन्स सेम एवरीवेयर, मास ऑन मून इज आल्सो 5 kg. हो गया, देखो फर्स्ट वैल्यू मिल गया. सो इजी इट इज. अर्थ पे मास 5 kg है तो मून पे भी मास 5 kg, बिकॉज मास ऑफ एन ऑब्जेक्ट विल रिमेन सेम एवरीवेयर. नाउ लेट्स कम टू वेट. Now here we will follow the method that we followed in the last sum. First I will write the formula for weight. Then I will write the same formula for earth. For earth, W will become WE and M will become ME and G will become GE. So I call this as equation number 1. बाद में अपने पास यहाँ पे है मून, तो मून के लिए ये फॉर्मूला कैसे आएगा? W will now become WM, M will become MM and G will become GM. Equation number 2. ना बच्चों याद करो, एक बार दोनों इक्वेशंस मिल गया, फिर हमको क्या करना चाहिए? करेक्ट, डिविजन. So dividing by 1 and 2. In fact, dividing 1 and 2, we get पहले left hand side upon left hand side. So WE divided by WM. Then right hand side upon right hand side. So ME into GE divided by MM into GM. Children, let us put the values now. WE का वैल्यू देखो गिवन में दिया है 49. So 49 upon, we need to find WM का वैल्यू. So I'll write WM is equal to ME. Again, they have given me the value of ME. So ME is 5 and GE को मैं GE लिख रहा हूं, वो दिया नहीं है. Upon MM का वैल्यू देखो हमको मिला. Look at this box on the left hand side. We got the value of MM as 5. So 5 into GM. Now can you see something can get cut? 5 and 5 will get cut. So ultimately I get 49 upon WM is equal to GE upon GM. Again, look at the given children. G upon E is 1/6. So how much to GE upon GM? 6 upon 1. उसका उल्टा करेक्ट. And 6 upon 1 is nothing but 6. अब अगर मुझे WM चाहिए, so I shift WM here and 6 will come down. So I get 49 divided by 6 as WM. And when you divide 49 by 6, you will get the answer as 8.166666 recurring. उसको round off करके तुम लोग लिख सकते हो 8.17. 8.16 लिखा तो भी चलेगा. Nobody will cut marks. So weight on moon is 8.17 Newton, and here I write the final answer. The mass and weight of the object on moon will be 5 kg and 8.17 Newton respectively. Come on children, take a screenshot fast. Take the screenshot. Okay. So 2 sums for today done. नाउ कमिंग टू टू प्रूफ्स. अब तुम लोग ज्योमेट्री में बहुत सारी चीजें प्रूव करते हो. 10th स्टैंडर्ड में हमको फिजिक्स में भी अभी बहुत सारी चीजें प्रूव करनी पड़ेगी. आई होप अभी अभी तुमने एक प्रूफ पढ़ा था रिफ्रैक्शन ऑफ लाइट के एग्जाम के टाइम पे. प्रूव दैट I is equal to E, angle of incidence is equal to angle of emergence. So that was one proof that we did in that lesson. Similarly, we will do two proofs here. Now these two proofs are there in the textbook exercise only. Question answer में ही है ये. एक proof ऐसा है. Let the period of revolution of a planet at a distance r from a star be t. Prove that if it was at a distance of 2r from the star, then its period of revolution will be square root of 8t. इसका मतलब there is a planet. Look at this planet. उसका distance r है और उसका period of revolution है t. I hope you all can recall these terms. Period of revolution मतलब the time required to complete one revolution. तो एक planet है जिसका डिस्टेंस r है स्टार से एंड उसका पीरियड ऑफ रेवोल्यूशन इज t. तो वी हैव टू प्रूव कि अगर उसका डिस्टेंस 2r हो तो उसका पीरियड ऑफ रेवोल्यूशन है स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ 8t. दिस इज व्हाट वी नीड टू प्रूव. सो लेट्स सी हाउ डू वी प्रूव दिस. नाउ इफ यू कैन रिकॉल अ लॉ व्हिच इज रिलेटिंग डिस्टेंस एंड पीरियड ऑफ रेवोल्यूशन, देन इट इज केप्लर्स थर्ड लॉ. According to Kepler's third law, the square of the period of revolution of a planet around a star is directly proportional to the cube of the mean distance of the planet from the star. I hope ये तुम लोग को law याद है, हमने पढ़ा था. Mathematically, we write this law in this manner: t square upon cube is equal to k. Now जैसे हमने वैसे मैं यहाँ पे भी करूंगा. अब मैं क्या करूंगा, यही फॉर्मूला लूंगा केस 1 के लिए. केस 1 क्या है? When the distance is r and period of revolution is capital T. बाद में यही फॉर्म में लिखूंगा केस 2 के लिए. केस क्या है? डिस्टेंस 2r और ये प्रूव करना है पीरियड ऑफ रेवोल्यूशन इज रूट ऑफ 8t. एंड देन we'll see how to do the sum further. So let me first apply this formula in case 1. In case 1, the mean distance is given as capital R and the period of revolution is given to me as capital T. Look at the first line. Mean distance is given capital R. Period of revolution is capital T. So when I apply the values in the formula, T के बदले में T लिखूंगा, लेकिन small r के बदले क्या आ जाएगा? Capital R. तो मुझे मिलेगा T square upon R cube is equal to K. I call this equation as 1. Similarly, in case 2. Now in case 2, mean distance is given to me as 2r. देखो लिखा है if it was at a distance of 2r. तो हमको ये प्रूव करना है. अभी अगर ये प्रूव करना है तो अभी के लिए मैं लेता हूं पीरियड ऑफ रेवोल्यूशन इज t1. बाद में we will prove कि ये पीरियड ऑफ रेवोल्यूशन जो t1 लिया है वो एक्चुअली है स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ 8t. So for now I am assuming the period of revolution as t1. So now when I use these values, मुझे केप्लर्स लॉ का फॉर्मूला ऐसा मिलेगा. t square will now become t1 square. And r here is 2r. So t1 square upon 2r the whole cube is equal to k. Children, look at the denominator. 2r the whole cube. 2r the whole cube is 8r cube is equal to k. Let me call this equation as equation number 2. Again, we got equation 1, we got equation 2. So let us divide now. From 1 and 2, we get t square upon r cube is equal to t1 square upon 8r cube. Check out the RHS of equation 1. It is k. RHS of equation 2 again k. बराबर. दोनों का RHS इक्वल है तो दोनों का LS को भी मैंने इक्वेट किया है. तो मुझे मिला t square upon r cube is equal to t1 square upon 8r cube. Now here the common terms r cube and r cube will get cut. तो ultimately बचेगा ये. इसको भी अगर मैंने क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई किया तो बचेगा ये. अभी अगर मैंने स्क्वायर रूट लिया तो मुझे मिलेगा t1 स्क्वायर विल बिकम t1, 8 विल बिकम स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ 8 एंड t स्क्वायर विल बिकम t. तो जो मुझे प्रूव करना था वो मैंने प्रूव कर लिया दैट द पीरियड ऑफ रेवोल्यूशन इन केस 2 विल बी स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ 8t. So again it was a very simple proof. We used Kepler's third law. T square upon r cube is equal to k. Case 1, capital T is capital T, but small r is given to me as capital R. So I get equation 1. Case 2, T is T1 and small r is 2r. तो हमको मिलता है equation 2 and then we equate both the equations because दोनों का RHS is same. So again take a screenshot बच्चों and then we move on to the last proof. All right, last proof. The last proof is this. A stone thrown vertically upwards with initial velocity u reaches a height h before coming down. So that the time taken to go up is same as the time taken to come down. Children, forget about the first line. First line to chhodi do. Second line important hai. So that. Check karo what we need to prove. We need to prove that the time required to go up is same as the time required to come down. So, you know, if I throw an object up, definitely if it will reach to some height and then it will come down. तो उसके ये जो पूरे जर्नी में हमको ये प्रूव करना है कि जितना टाइम उसको ऊपर जाने के लिए लगता है उतना ही टाइम उसको नीचे आने के लिए लगेगा. So we need to prove that the time required to go up is same as the time required to come down. Now, children, I don't know how many people remember, but there are some intelligent kids out there who will say कि सर ये तो हमने यूज किया है एक सम में. Yes, हमने एक सम सॉल्व किया है जिसमें हमने ये प्रॉपर्टी यूज किया है. The time required to go up is same as the time required to come down, and this is the chance to prove now. So let me start by assuming. Let the time taken by the stone to go up be t1. मैं assume कर रहा हूं कि ऊपर जाने के लिए कितना टाइम लगा t1. तो अभी जब stone ऊपर जा रहा है, so let me use first kinematical equation. V is equal to u plus at. Now when the stone goes up, जब stone ऊपर जाता है and any object goes up, तो उसका final velocity is 0. So here v is 0. Acceleration is obviously acceleration due to gravity. But because it is going up, I will take that acceleration due to gravity as negative. So a will be minus g. And t, time. We have assumed abhi कि time required to go up is t1. So t का value है t1. तो ये equation में मैं ये तीन values डालने वाला हूँ. Because the object is going up, v is 0. Because the object is going up, acceleration due to gravity is negative. So a is minus g. And मैंने assume किया है कि time required to go up is t1. So t is t1. So when I put the values in the formula, I get something like this. V के बदले मैंने लिखा 0. U remains u. Acceleration is acceleration due to gravity, which is minus g. And t is t1. Obviously, if I simplify, I will get something like this. 0 is equal to u. Look at plus और bracket के अंदर देखो क्या है minus. And we know plus into minus is minus. So 0 is equal to u minus gt1. अब हमको t1 चाहिए बराबर. तो मैं क्या करता हूँ, ये जो minus gt1 है ना, minus gt1, उसको मैं यहाँ पे ले लेता हूँ. So it will become plus gt1. So gt1 is equal to u. और इसमें से मुझे t1 का वैल्यू मिलेगा. t1 के वैल्यू ढूंढने के लिए I shift g here. So g is in the multiplication, it becomes division. So t1 will become u upon g. Let me call this equation as equation number 1. तो बच्चों तुमको अभी ये समझा, हमको ये प्रूव करना पड़ेगा कि t2 का भी वैल्यू is u upon g. तभी मैं बोल पाऊंगा कि t1 and t2 are equal. मतलब time required to go up and time required to come down is same. So now my job is to prove that t2 is also equal to u upon g. तो उसके लिए पहले एक स्टेटमेंट लिखता हूं. Let the time taken by the stone to come down be t2. Now children, when the stone is coming down, let me use the second kinematical equation of motion. S is equal to ut plus half at square. Now children, let us apply some values. Because the stone is coming down, initial velocity u is equal to 0. Because the stone is coming down, acceleration due to gravity is positive. So a is equal to g. and the time required to come down is t2, so t is equal to t2. तो अभी मेरे पास ये तीन वैल्यूज हैं. स्टोन नीचे आ रहा है तो इनिशियल वेलोसिटी u is 0. नीचे आ रहा है स्टोन तो एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी इज पॉजिटिव, सो a is plus g and t is t2. So when I put the values, I get s is equal to, look at this, u into t. But हमको मालूम है u का वैल्यू 0 है, तो 0 into t, 0 into anything is going to be 0, correct? तो वो नहीं लिखेगा तो भी चलेगा. And now I will write that term, half at square. So I will write something like this, half a के बदले उसका वैल्यू आएगा g और t के बदले उसका वैल्यू आएगा t2. So t square becomes t2 square. I am repeating, ये वाला टर्म कहां पे गया? देखो u is 0, u का वैल्यू 0 है and 0 into anything is going 0. ये वाला टर्म मैंने लिखा ही नहीं है, स्किप कर दिया है. So s is equal to half g t2 square. वो जो 1 है ना, 1 हाफ का जो 1 है ना ऊपर, वो नहीं लिखता हूं तो मुझे ऐसा मिलेगा, s is equal to g t2 square upon 2. Let me call this equation as equation number 2. Now children, there is one formula for maximum height. अब ये फॉर्मूला तुमको और कहीं पे भी यूज नहीं आएगा. There are no sums based on this formula. You only have to remember this formula for this proof. The formula for maximum height is this, s is equal to u square upon 2g. I repeat, there is a formula for maximum height reached by the stone, and the formula is this, u square upon 2g. So s is equal to u square upon 2g, equation number 3. Now children, look at equation 2, look at equation 3. दोनों का लेफ्ट हैंड साइड देखो सेम है, तो डेफिनेटली दोनों का राइट हैंड साइड भी इक्वल होना चाहिए. So from equation 2 and 3, I will equate the right hand sides, तो मुझे मिलेगा ऐसा. Now children, can you see that common term 2 and 2? It will get cancelled. मुझे t2 का वैल्यू चाहिए, तो मैं क्या करूंगा, ये g को है ना यहाँ पे शिफ्ट कर दूंगा, तो g जो ऊपर है वो नीचे चला जाएगा. तो नीचे क्या मिलेगा मालूम है, g into ये g, and we know g into g is nothing but g square. So I get t2 square, which was in the left hand side, is equal to u square जो पहले भी था, और लेफ्ट वाला g को मैं नीचे लेके आया तो 2g हो गए, मतलब g square हो गया. See now, t2 square है, u भी square है और g भी square है. So let me take square roots. So when I take square roots, I will get t2 is equal to u upon g, equation number 4. Now children, look at equation 1. Look at equation 4. Can you see one thing? दोनों का right hand side is same. So definitely दोनों का left hand side should be equal. And because the left hand sides are equal, I get t1 is equal to t2 and hence proof. I will revise this once again, children. First, we spoke about the journey of the stone going up. Taken by the stone is t1. I use the first kinematical equation of motion, v is equal to u plus at. Because the stone is going up, the value of v is 0. Because the stone is going up, acceleration due to gravity is negative. और हमने assume किया है कि time required to go up is t1. तो जब मैं ये सब वैल्यूज फॉर्मूला में लेता हूं तो मुझे t1 का वैल्यू मिलता है u अपॉन g. मैं इसको इक्वेशन को लेबल करता हूं इक्वेशन नंबर 1. Then I speak about object coming down. Time required to come down t2. Then I use the second kinematical equation of motion. अभी इसमें u का वैल्यू 0 है because the object is coming down. Acceleration due to gravity is positive because again object is coming down. And time required is t2. So when I put this value, मुझे s का वैल्यू मिलेगा g t2 square upon 2, equation number 2. But the maximum height is given a formula u square upon 2g. So s का formula also can be u square upon 2g, equation number 3. Equation 2, equation 3, LHS equal, तो RHS भी equal करते हैं. तो जब RHS को equate करते हैं तो 2 और 2 कट हो जाता है. G जो लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पे है उसको मैं नीचे राइट हैंड साइड पे लेके जाता हूं तो मुझे मिलेगा t2 square is equal to u square upon g square. Take square roots throughout, so t2 is equal to u upon g. So if you check equation 1 and equation 4, RHS is equal, so LHS equal, so T1 is equal to T. So bachcho, today we understood 2 sums and 2 proofs. Take a screenshot of this proof also. Now your homework is going to be, you will solve these 2 sums and these 2 proofs twice, and we will see in the next lecture. All right, Dhruv sir. Dhruv sir.
Yes, sir. Are we done?
Yes, sir. I'm done.
All right.